analyzing Cena's Chinese. Hello everyone, you know Cena? He speaks understandable Chinese. Today we're doing a full breakdown, grammar, pronunciation, intonation, to see what he does well and where a few small adjustments could make it even more natural.
早上好，中国！现在我有冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋，但是速度与激情就比冰淇淋速度与激情就我最喜欢。所以现在是音乐时间，准备1、2、3，两个礼拜以后，速度与激情就两个礼拜以后，速度与激情就。两个礼拜以后，速度与激情就不要忘记，不要错过去电影院看《速度与激情九》，因为非常好电影，动作非常好，差不多一样。冰淇淋，再见。
Let's go sentence by sentence. Grammar. First, let's look at grammar. Most of what Cena says is understandable, but there are a few places where small changes could make a big difference. Sentence 1.
早上好，中国。
早上好，中国。Perfectly correct. Great opening, simple, friendly, direct. Sentence 2.
现在我有冰淇淋。
现在我有冰淇淋。Acceptable in casual speech. A native speaker might add 一个 before ice cream, but it's fine. The meaning is clear. Sentence 3.
但是速度与激情九比冰淇淋速度与激情。
但是速度与激情九比冰淇淋 is one place where the grammar is incomplete. In Chinese, the 比 comparison structure requires an adjective after it. Correct pattern: A 比 B plus adjective. Example: A 比 B 好. A is better than B. Cena stops after ice cream. We understand what he means, but adding an adjective like 更精彩, meaning more exciting, could complete the sentence. Small fix, big improvement. Sentence 4.
速度与激情九我最喜欢。
速度与激情九我最喜欢. This is actually correct and quite natural. Chinese allows you to put the object at front for emphasis. In English, I like Fast and Furious 9 the most. In Chinese, Fast and Furious 9, I like it the most. Well done here. Sentence 5.
所以现在是音乐时间。
所以现在是音乐时间. This is a small grammar issue. Cena says, 所以现在是音乐时间. So now is music time. The word 所以 suggests a casual relationship, but looking at the sentences before and after, there's no logical cause and effect. He was talking about liking the movie, and then suddenly it's music time. The jump is abrupt and playful. Adding 所以 makes it sound like he is trying to explain something that doesn't need explanation. Removing 所以 gives 现在是音乐时间, which is punctual and matches original rhythm. Small fix, better flow. Sentence 6.
准备1、2、3，两个礼拜以后，速度与激情九，两个礼拜以后。速度与激情九，两个礼拜以后，速度与激情九，不要忘记。
准备1、2、3，两个礼拜以后，两个礼拜以后，两个礼拜以后。This is why the sentence becomes incomplete. He says 2 weeks later, but then nothing follows. There's no verb, no action, no completion. In English, it's like saying, 2 weeks from now, Fast and Furious 9. 2 weeks from now, your brain waits for, will be released, will come out. You can watch it, but it never comes. The problem, a time phrase alone is not a complete sentence. You need a verb. The corrected sentences are 现在是音乐时间，速度与激情9即将在未来2周内上映。Let me break down the second sentence. The subject is the movie title. The time verb 即将 means is about to. The preposition 在 means in or within. The time phrase 未来2周内 means within the next 2 weeks. The main verb 上映 means to be released in theaters. Why this is a complete sentence? It has a subject, a clear time expression, and a verb. Grammar rule. A time phrase alone is a fragment. Always add a verb to complete the sentence. 礼拜 versus 周，礼拜 is casual and spoken. 周 is slightly more formal. Both are correct. Cena used 礼拜, which is fine. Sentence 7.
差不多一样，冰淇淋。
差不多一样，冰淇淋 another small grammar fix. The original sentence 差不多一样，冰淇淋 tries to say something like almost the same ice cream or ice cream is almost the same, but it's missing a key structure element. In Chinese, 差不多一样 means almost the same, but you cannot just put two nouns next to it without a comparison word. The reason is that Chinese grammar requires a clear link between the two items being compared. Otherwise, the sentence feels incomplete or awkward, even if the intended meaning is guessable. To make it correct, you need to use 和 meaning with or us to link the two things being compared. The correct and complete pattern is A 差不多和 B 一样 plus adjective. Notice that an adjective must come at the end to describe the quality that A and B share. Without that adjective, the comparison still feels unfinished. Let's look at two clear examples. 冰淇淋差不多和蛋糕一样甜。Ice cream is almost as sweet as cake. 这个电影差不多和冰淇淋一样让人过瘾。This movie is almost as satisfying as ice cream. In the first example, the adjective 甜 sweet directly completes the comparison. In the second example, a longer phrase 让人过瘾 satisfying functions like an adjective phrase. So for sentence 7, adding 和 plus an adjective like 甜 sweet or 好吃 delicious or 让人过瘾 would make the sentence complete. Even without fix, though, the meaning of the original is still clear from context, especially in casual conversation or informal writing, where small grammatical shortcuts are common. However, for learners aiming for accuracy, mastering this 和一样 pattern is very useful. Pronunciation and intonation. Now, pronunciation. This is where Cena's efforts really shines and where the famous Bingqilin comes from. The good news, everything he says is understandable. The small differences are just a part of learning any language. Let's start with the most famous example. Let's see how John Cena pronounces the 3 words 冰淇淋, which sound like Bingqilin. Now look at the pronunciation analysis of the word 冰淇淋, ice cream in Chinese, comparing John Cena's version and mine. 冰淇淋. On the left is John Cena's pronunciation. On the right is my pronunciation as a native Chinese speaker. The blue lines are the pitch curves. They show how your voice moves up and down. Problem 1. The missing blue line. First, look at the blue line on Cena's side. There is almost no blue line. is broken, faint, or missing entirely. This means his voice does not have a stable, clear pitch. He is not holding a steady tone. Now look at my side on the right. The blue line is very flat and very stable at high position. That flat, stable blue line means I am pronouncing bing correctly with a high level tone. Problem 2. Bing is too short. The second problem, Cena's bing is too short. He says this so quickly that it almost disappears. You can barely hear the full syllable. In Chinese, every syllable needs its full length, especially the first character. On his recording, bing is rushed, weak, and incomplete. This is incorrect. On my side, bing has the correct length, clear, full, and steady. Problem 3. Tone problems for qi and lin. The correct tones for Bingqilin are bing high level tone, first tone, qi rising tone, second tone, lin rising tone, second tone. On Cena's side, for qi and lin, the rising movement is very weak or missing. The blue line barely goes up. On my side, the rise is clear and complete. 4. The consonant qi. Now let's focus on the consonant qi in qi. Here's how to pronounce it correctly. Step 1. Tongue position. Put your tongue tip down behind your lower front teeth. Raise the front of your tongue to touch the hard palate. Step 2. Release with air. Build up air pressure, then release with a strong puff of air. Your vocal cords do not vibrate. Step 3. Test it. Put your hand in front of your mouth. When you see qi, you should feel a strong burst of air on your hand. Qi. On Cena's recording, his qi is not clear. On my side, the qi is crisp and correct. Problem 5. Blurred syllable boundaries. In standard Chinese, like how I say it, each syllable is clear and separate. Bingqilin, but Cena's syllables blend together. Bingqilin. He rushes through the word to a native ear. This sounds mumbly or slurred. Corrected version plus analysis. 早上好，中国，我很喜欢冰淇淋，但速度与激情9比冰淇淋更精彩。它是我最爱的电影。现在是音乐时间。速度与激情9即将在未来2周内上映，不要错过，去电影院看《速度与激情9》。动作场面非常棒，像冰淇淋一样让人过瘾。再见 Sentence by sentence. 早上好，中国。What Cena did well. Simple, correct, friendly, no change needed. Sentence 2. 我很喜欢冰淇淋。I really like ice cream. Sentence 3. 但速度与激情9比冰淇淋更精彩。Cena says 速度与激情9比冰淇淋 incomplete. The polished version adds that but and adds 更精彩 more exciting. Why this works? The pattern A, B, B plus the adjective is complete. 精彩 exciting is a perfect adjective for an action movie. Sentence 4. 它是我最爱的电影. Change from Cena's version. Cena said, 速度与激情9我最喜欢. The polished version says, 它是我最爱的电影. It is my favorite movie. Cena's version is fine. The polished version is just a bit more complete. Sentence 5. 现在是音乐时间. Change from Cena's version. Cena said, 所以现在是音乐时间. The polished version removes 所以. Why the change? The jump to music time is intentionally abrupt. There's no causal relationship. Removing 所以 make it a puncture. Sentence 6. 速度与激情9即将在未来2周内上映。Change from Cena's version. Cena said, 准备1、2、3，两个礼拜以后，两个礼拜以后，两个礼拜以后 ，3 times with no verb. The polished version gives a one complete sentence with subject, time, and verb. Note, 2周内 uses 周 slightly formal instead of 礼拜 casual. Both are correct. Sentence 7. 不要错过去电影院看《速度与激情9》。The polished version removes repetitive 不要忘记 and adds 去电影院 go to the cinema. In Chinese movie promotions, you almost always say go to the cinema and watch is the full natural phrase. Sentence 8. 动作场面非常棒，像冰淇淋一样让人过瘾。Change from Cena's version. Cena said, 差不多一样冰淇淋。The polished version adds clear subject, action scenes, adds 像一样 like, and adds 让人过瘾 satisfying. Why 过瘾 is a great word here. 过瘾 means something so enjoyable that it fully satisfies a craving. Perfect for ice cream on holiday and for an action movie with explosions. Final summary. So let's summarize what Johnson did well and a few small places for polish. In grammar, Cena was most correct and his meaning was always clear. The small adjustments would be to complete the bī comparison, to remove the unnecessary 所以 and to add verb after time phrases. In pronunciation, all his words were recognizable. The small adjustments would be soften the qi sound, hold tones longer, and keep syllables boundaries clear. In intonation, he shows great energy and enthusiasm. The small adjustments would be to blend words more and reduce English stress patterns. Key grammar rules to remember. First, don't add 所以 without a clear cause and effect relationship. Second, a time phrase alone is a fragment. For example, 2个礼拜以后 has no verb, so it is incomplete. The fix is to add subject, time, and verb, like 即将在未来2周内上映. Final thought. Johnson speaks understandable Chinese. He connects with millions of fans. He promotes a movie with energy and humor. The Bingqilin video isn't a failure, it's a success. He got his message across. People remember it. Years later, we are still talking about it. That's not bad Chinese, that's effective communication. And honestly, Bingqilin is kind of iconic. But do you know how to say Bingqilin correctly in Chinese? 冰淇淋. Okay, I am your Chinese teacher, Linda Huang, Huang 老师. Thanks for watching. 再见.